Good afternoon. I'm Jason Sterling. I'm a member of the EA Creator Network, and we are going to jump in here to make sure that I am actually running live. I think I'm running live. I think it's online here. Come on. Give me just a second. Technology. Hold on just a second. Come on. Come on. Let's try this again. There we go. Now, yes, I do think we are running now. So this is a Brutalist build. We are running now. Let's see here. That we're going to finish up. We're going to finish up this sort of Brutalist look here today. Let me get my secondary sort of monitor set up here. Okay, here we go. Now, I built this for, well, I started building it. It's not quite done. Not quite done. I started building this for Enchanted by Nature, which is in The Sims 4. I use The Sims 4 for a lot of building. I also do play the game and stuff, but I do a lot of building in the game. Really like it for that. And so I thought, hey, everybody's going to do a cottage for fairies or a little castle-y type of thing, right? So let's go in here and let's do a sort of Brutalist style of build. And especially because The Sims had kind of come out with, this marketing that said you could, live with nature, live outdoors, all this sort of stuff. And I thought, okay, let's do an open sort of concept that's going to be integrated with nature. Nothing says nature like raw concrete. So I thought, hey, let's do Brutalist style. And actually, the Brutalist style does really go really well with nature, I think. So when you look at concrete homes and concrete structures and the sort of raw concrete, and you put greenery against it and floral against it and natural woods against it, it has a very pleasing sort of effect. So that's what I've done here. Now we're not done. I'm going to finish it out today with items that are from the new pack. We need, by and large, we need a new bathroom, we need a bedroom, we need a kitchen, we need a dining room, I need an outdoor sitting area and a library. The living room is pretty much done over here. I did that in advance, and I'm going to leave it like this. It's very kind of spare and modern. I might swap out the chair, maybe, but I might not. I kind of like it like this. I think it does have that very sort of typical Brutalist, minimalist style. Let me get in here so we can look at it. There we go. After a little bit of a roller coaster ride there, we're in place. So this is kind of our office area, over here. And then on the other side, we have a sectional. I think sectionals go with brutalism. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe because of the 70s. But we've got kind of a sectional seating area over here. And I might put a chair or something here as well. Maybe a table. We'll see. Now, where I want to do the bathroom is going to be down here in this space. And then the bedroom will be over here in this space. So I need to frame it in a little bit, especially the bathroom. I think people will be more comfortable if I do put the toilet in a closet of some sort. I want to keep it very open, maybe not quite that open. I am going to leave the shower open. We're going to do the shower right here in this particular space right here. And in fact, I want to, right off the bat, let's make that a little bit longer. Actually, hold on. Let's go through and make sure our cheats are on. There we go. Because I'm going to need pretty much everything, I think, today, right? I always need everything when I build. Entitlements, I think it is. No. Okay. Ignore gameplay. Unlocks. Entitlement. That's really long. That's such a long cheat. And then show hidden objects. And we're also going to show live edit objects because I might want something out of the debug menu. So we'll go with that. We'll take that off. And then we're going to extend our shower like that, but I don't want this wall, this wall, this wall. Shower will just go in here, and this contains space. Try to get a good enough view there. And we'll put the toilet. This will be a pretty small bathroom, but functional and kind of a sort of, if you look at Brutalist plans and Brutalist houses, a lot of times the kitchens and baths are kind of small. It's just kind of seen as a space to kind of take care of like that necessary duty. So we're gonna put this here. Our kitchen might be a little bit, bigger. I think our kitchen is going to be a good enough size, but we'll put this here. We're going to grab some of our concrete, conveniently called, I think, isn't it called raw style? I was thinking it was called raw concrete, and it kind of is. So we'll put that there. Now down here, I want to do the sink right here. Where's my grid? Yeah, I'm going to do the sink like right here. So we'll have an entrance to this toilet area and our shower and our sink. Very cozy. This is a one-person build. Obviously, you could maybe have a baby. You could have a couple here. You could do a couple here or a single, and you could have a baby here. I suppose if you want to do some rebuild, you could definitely bring in a child, but I don't have it really set up as a 2-bedroom. It's definitely kind of a singles type of build. I'm gonna put that there. And I think just like I've done with the other rooms, I don't know. I thought about putting, maybe we could put this here. So I was thinking just in on the other side as well. I don't know. I think that takes up too much visual space. Looks too weird. So we'll take it out. We're going to throw ourselves a door in there. And again, I mean, I'm going very modern here. Very modern, very sort of forward thinking. And so I don't really want to do a solid door. I'm going to do a glass door on it, just like the shower is done in glass. There is privacy because the toilet will be back here, but I do want to maintain really that natural feel, like you are outside with nature. You are living with nature. Let's grab a half wall here. I want to put a half wall around the sink, and then we're going to build a kind of enclosure for the sink coming up. Let's see here. We'll put a little half wall here, half wall here, half wall here. We're also going to outline that in glass, but we're going to have an enclosure built out of a window, so it won't be really as open as, say, the shower is. Let's go ahead. We'll grab this sort of gray, steely looking cover here. I think. Will it work on this one? Maybe it won't. Is it broke? Hopefully I didn't break it already. Please, God. My last stream ended badly. I was trying to test out For Rent again. I haven't been there in a while. With a big apartment complex I built, and what can I say? It broke. It did break. About 2 hours into the stream, I got caught in that endless blue loop, which is my new blue screen of death. The new blue screen of death is The Sims, like, endless blue screen loop. And I did get caught in that, and I'm looking for a particular window here. I know it's in here somewhere. If I don't see it this next time back, I'll try, like, just searching by pack. I think maybe it was with the eco set. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on. It's got to be in here. It's got to be. I've used it before. Oh, I give up. Let's just see here. Is it with the eco pack? I think so. There we go. See, there it is. It is an eco item. So we're going to bring out the black version of it, and then we're going to kind of tuck our sink right here. It's not really going to be pushed back in there. It won't work if I push it all the way back in there, but we are going to kind of tuck it up, behind there. I'm going to lift that up too. And we'll put shelving back here to provide a place to put stuff, right? Stuff for when you are getting ready in the mornings. And we're also going to use a mirror here. Let's go up here. Let's find our bathroom. This came with Vintage Glamour, which was like a long time ago. And seriously though, I use it all the time. It's really one of my big go-tos. We really don't need a mirror on that side, but I am going to put a mirror on that side just so it doesn't look so like that, right? So we'll throw a mirror on there, and maybe I'll try putting some sort of closet type of dresser thing here or here. So the mirror makes a little more sense there, like you're going to check your look, right, after you get dressed. Sink-wise, I do want something pretty natural. I'm not going to use this, which is from the new pack. It's a little bit... I'm going to use some of the furniture like that, but I think for the sink, it's a little bit too much for a Brutalist look. And I'm going to go more with this. We're going to go with this item from, what was it called? Island Living. Island Living. Yes, because it does have a natural look, but also very modern. And we're going to scoot it back. We're going to go right up against that window. I moved my sim, one of my favorite sims right now, because he's from the new, I made him with the new pack, is Constantino Fawn. Super hot, super cute. So we're going to have him test this out here in a little bit. He's the guy living here now. I moved him from the last build I was doing. Now with shelving, I've got a couple of options, but just a couple. And to kind of decide maybe what's going to work here, let's pull up shelving surfaces. Now, one of them, of course, was this. And I've thought of that before. One thing I like in its place, and I think is better for this application, a version of it came with high school. Where is it? Someone suggested recently that we need the ability to put things into groups ourselves. I'm so on board with that. I'm so on board with that. I really, really, really wish we could, because I spend so much time like scrolling through this stuff and I think, well, I know it's here. I know it's in here somewhere. See, how can I not find that? I know it's going to be stupid. I mean, I know I'm going to look and feel like such an idiot when I finally do find it. And I guess what I'm going to have to do, first of all, this was also an option, I would say. But first of all, this, I am going to maybe try that out. Let me just grab that, because that's something I was thinking of. And I was also thinking of I haven't seen it, but the shelf from Dine Out is metal. I mean, this is also, always an option, the old standby, but eh. So let's see here. Shelf. Okay. Let's just go here and we're going to look. High school years. There it is right there. See, right there it is. I don't know how I missed that, but I did. So there's this, and I'm really leaning towards that. One of the cool things about it is when you put it on a mirrored wall like this, using this one, it doesn't work with all mirrors, but you can see how the back of it, the mirror pushes through the back of it. So when Constantino is standing there, his head will be in the middle of this box. So it creates a very kind of cool, modern sort of look. So that's the one I'm really leaning towards, but we do have this to use as a shelf. Move this over here. So, that also very modern. We could maybe move it down a little bit, bring it up something like that. And that feels like a bathroom shelf, doesn't it? It does feel that way. The other thing would be Dine Out. Dine Out does have this metal shelf. So it definitely looks modern, and it definitely looks Brutalist, right? I don't know why it doesn't want to go up the wall for me. We'll just raise it this way. So, we could put a whole stack of shelves on this wall using that. At the end of the day, I do think I'm going to go with this. This is what's been in my head for a while. Actually, this or Dream Home Decorator, they both operate the same. The cubbies, but this cubby really does, it's a little bit smaller. It's scaled down just a little bit. And I feel like that more diminutive presence works better because we do have kind of a tight space. So we'll put that there, and then we're going to go... Actually, wait a minute. I don't know. What did I put there? Not the right thing. Let's take that off. Is there a smaller one? Let's see here. This is short. There we go. That's what we wanted. We're going to put in our shower over here. My thought is to just use this. This is my favorite shower now. I almost never use a full, box any longer. We do have the thing from what's Island Living. Why can I not remember that name? The bad thing is I can't put it like this, which is what I want to do, because then in a way it does give a little bit of privacy, right? This is where your front part is. But as a sim, the Sims will not care though. They don't care that there's not really any privacy there because there's a glass wall. And as long as there is a wall, then that counts as privacy. So we could use it. I wonder if it comes in a black. I always use warmer woods, but it does come like that. It doesn't really come in a tone that matches the sink. See, that's kind of its problem. I mean, I guess it kind of does, maybe, but I wish it had something a little more black on it. So I don't know. I got to really look at that and think about it. I think I'm going to leave both those things there. And then as I consider this build, as we finish it out, then I'll kind of decide from there. How in the world did I get that? Trying to be a little modest here, game. I don't want a glass wall for the toilet. Okay, let's try it again. Are you going to take it? Come on. There we go. It only took a little coaxing. Let's find ourselves a toilet here. Again, because it's a modern build, yes, we got the stump. We got the stump toilet with the new pack, and it's totally cool. Don't you just love the idea of using a hollowed out tree stump as your toilet? Of course you do. That's why it's included. All fairies do that. But I think that I'm going to go with something a little more modern. I actually really love this for this sort of build. The reliability sucks. It's only like 3. And we got this thing, of course, the talking toilet. We've got this. Again, reliability is really low. I'm going to just go with this. I'm going to go with this. I do really like this. Again, for this sort of build, it has that sort of modern aesthetic that's really going to work. So we've got that in there. I'm not going to worry too much about lighting at the moment. I am going to have to do some sort of lighting, but I'll go through and do all the lighting at the end. So at the end of it, we will go ahead and go through and come on, game, quit giving me a hassle on this. Okay, there we go. We'll go through and we'll do all the lighting at once. Now, let's take a look here. We need a bed. And what I want to do is I do want to go through and maybe seal in this bedroom area a little bit more. My idea of living with nature was that these rocks provided the walls, right? These rocks were the walls to your home. But in reality, I do feel like there's a lot of thunderstorms in this area of the Sims world. And I just feel like maybe we need a little more structure there. So I'm going to do just seamless glass walls like that, right? I need to put it on that. So we've got kind of a walled in bedroom. Now up above here, we're going to go ahead and pull the ceiling across as well. Again, for the same reason, I'm afraid if it rains, it's going to pour down inside the bedroom. And I don't know if that's going to affect the sim or not. It might. It might or might not. I don't know. But why risk it? Let's go ahead and we'll just set up our bedroom like that. We can put a dresser here. And in fact, again, you know what I think I'm going to do? Let's go ahead and we'll just put a kind of wall here, like a half wall, pony wall, like that. And I'm going to do the same wall trim on it. And we're also going to make it out of glass. And then I think what we'll do is let's go ahead and just put clothing, the clothing racks from that thing, Dream Home Decorator. Dream Home Decorator is one of my favorite packs, by the way. It's got sectional furniture, and it's modern, and it's clean, and it's got super cool stuff like this. So it is serious. And I loved being a decorator. I loved playing Dream Home Decorator. Really was a lot of fun. So we're going to do this sort of feel, right? It's going to be open, very modern. Go grab ourselves some clothes here. Constantino is a pretty masculine guy. He doesn't wear any shirts because he's a fawn, right? I don't know. So far, he doesn't. He doesn't wear any shirts because he's a fawn, but we're going to go ahead and grab something that looks a little bit like shirts. We will also put in this sort of fairy clothing like that, just to get the impression he's also a mystical sort of type of creature. We could go with horse ranch. We could go with high school. Let's see here. Now, I think I'm going to go with horse ranch. I think I am. Maybe something a little more kind of earthy looking because we are kind of living with nature here. So we got that. And then we'll put some sort of decorative stuff up here in this area. And we've got a little mirror here to check our look. And hopefully that's not going to look too junky from down below. That is my big, big fear, is because I really like the sort of clean look of what I had going, right, with this build. And that's actually something that kind of works against having the shower stall from Island Living, is that it's visually impactful, and this one is not. This one's a lot less noticeable. So let's go with that. And then if we're down here, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. I might change the look of it a little bit, like put a wall there or something. I don't know. Up here, we are going to put a bed in. Let's go ahead and get ourselves going here. We have a fairy bed. I thought about using this, but I'm using some of the fairy furniture in the rest of the house. So my thought is I'm going to try it out. If I decide I don't like it, the thing I don't like about it compared to some of the other furniture is it does have a lot of vines on it. So it's got this additional leaves and sort of flowers all over it. I've liked it for other builds. I'm not sure I like it here in the bedroom. Like I said, we're going to use this kind of furniture elsewhere. I'm going to go ahead and put it here for the moment and just see how I kind of feel about it as I'm going around doing other stuff. It fits there well. It doesn't seem to intersect very badly with the stone. We also need to go in here. I'm going to change a little bit of this sort of stuff here. I don't know why that's so dark. It should not be so dark. Maybe because it's not a platform. Let's try that. Nope, that's not it. Okay. And I want to make sure this is also... Let me look over here. Okay, that did change. I could see some white down here, which was basically the foundation. You could see was a white cover on it. And so that is why I went through to change the foundation there, because I want it to blend in better. We also don't need this out here. Now we're going to do a seating area here on the outside, and we're going to do a library back over here. So we're going to do like a nice little sort of, we're going to call this kind of our formal living room, right? Because it's right off the front door, such as it is, kind of an open foyer, open entrance hall. But it is technically our front door, so we're going to grab some of this Enchanted by Nature goodness. Let's grab Enchanted by Nature here, and we've got this great love seat. I do love this love seat, actually. I do. I really, really, really like it. And it's this type of furniture in the pack that I like best, really, with what came with this pack. So we'll put that there. We could use a chair, and I think I'm going to go with... I think I'm going to go with this in green. It does come in green, right? I was thinking it came in a light green, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's what I thought was light green. Let's go with that. We'll go with that there. We're going to put a couple of like little chairs somewhere in here. Maybe here. Let's do like one here and one here. And we're going to kind of give it a little bit of a twist so it's not, totally on the grid. I kind of roll that one around a little bit too. Little less formality for our kind of brutalist, house here. Now, when it comes to the table, actually what I was thinking was this, but this is a bench. That's what I was thinking of, was the table, but it's a bench. So I'm going to look real quick and see what kind of, styles it comes in. And see if I even really like it that much. I do kind of like that. Because I could put it here. It's kind of a low table, right? Maybe. I don't know that this will work. We're going to try it. But my thought is we put it there to act as a table. And then I'm going to go in here to the living room. I'm going to go to the end tables. And there is like a little, very low, round table in here. Right there. So maybe if I intersect that and I make it smaller, right? Kind of hide it in there. First, that table ought to keep any Sims from trying to sit on this and kind of ruining the effect, right? And then if we let's grab a plant. If we put that on there, it does give a pretty good effect of looking like it's sitting on the bench as a table. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to shrink that down even further so we can really disguise it in here. Like so. I think I want to leave those flowers. I love this. This is like my favorite floral arrangement in the whole game. I use it like all the time. I pretty much use it like every single build. Somewhere in that build, that arrangement's going to be. Where was that table? There it is. So we're going to go ahead and kind of put that one over here. And then let's see if we can find something to put on top of it. Just, I guess maybe, how about some fruit? Like a nice bowl of fruit, basket of fruit. The basket's cute. Will it go on top of the table? Oh, and it will. So I'm going to shrink that down just a little bit so it looks a little more in scale with the rest of the kind of arrangement here. And some of this we might swap out. I mean, this is kind of my initial idea of how this should look. If I feel like at the end, if I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know if this is working with this brutalist idea or not, we can always change a few things around. We'll put that fruit there to welcome our guests as they come in, and we can grab kind of some sort of rug here. Now, one thing I think goes really great with a brutalist build is a very sort of formal, like, what do we think of? Sort of like a Persian or an Oriental style rug. Here in the States, that's what you'll commonly find them called. I want to find a non-tore up version. Let's see here. Which is in here somewhere. We can also do that. Or this. We've got this. This is pretty. And let's give it kind of a green tone there. There we go. So now we've got a little outdoor seating area that's going to kind of speak to a little bit of formality. I think that's pretty good. I mean, I don't think we need a whole lot more for this room. I might put a piece of art here. We'll see as we go. Now over here, we're going to do our library. So we're going to build a roof, right? Let me get on here. Let's build the ceiling. And we're going to go ahead and put the trim around it if I can get that to work. I don't know why doesn't it want to work. Applied to a room above ground floor. This is a room above ground floor. Right here, right? This is a room above ground floor, you guys. Okay, so let me take a look here. See why it's not wanting to work. We need something there because it's going to look really weird like that. I might have to move that tree while I'm working here. Okay, I don't know why it's not taking that. I mean, I can go ahead and put, oh, wait a minute. Now I feel stupid. I need a room above ground floor. It basically told me exactly what I needed. And I'm there like, well, this is a room above the ground, right? It's not on the ground, but it is not a room above ground floor. Okay, let me go ahead and let's put in this here and see if we can't kind of fix the I know we can. Yes, we can fix the problem. We're going to do like this and this. And this and this. Okay, so swing around, jump back up here. We're going to use that same wall tile, or yeah, covering, but we're going to put in a seamless glass wall on the front of this. Like that. Now I think, right, that should be enough to, yeah, there we go. Seal that in with that sort of, heavy metal look to it, right? We're going to do a little seating area. Let me just drop down here so I won't bounce around quite so much. We're going to do a little seating area here. And we are going to use this sort of, to me, this has kind of an artsy look to it, right? It's got this sort of like, it looks like a chair that you could use and sit in, but it looks like the sort of thing you'd buy at a museum. Like some artist came up with it, and so you can buy a copy of it, maybe with a donation to the museum or something, right? That really has that feel to me. We're going to change the tone to that sort of richer sort of wood. We could use a little table here, and I'm not sure what I want to use. This is almost too, kind of looks like a little kid's play set, almost too much to me. I do like it and I have used it, but I don't know that it's going to work again for this particular build. So I think I'm going to wait. Now we could maybe do this. I've used this in lieu of a, table quite a bit. And I love it. I do really love the way this looks, and see, we can do some really great colors here. That looks really cool. And the green looks really cool. Let's do a green. We'll do a green there next to it. We could really use some sort of carpet here. I might use the carpeting from this pack. So we've got this. We're going to shrink it down quite a bit. Like maybe that might be too much. I don't really know if I want to do it that much. But at the same time, I don't really want it very big either. Maybe this one is more what we need. Then like that. Again, that gives a sort of artistic look to it, almost like it's just meant as kind of an art piece. I think that's okay. I do think that's okay. We're going to leave it like that. We're going to come back and put some lighting there in a little bit. We might put some sort of picture there. In fact, now that I think about it, maybe we want to go ahead and do some of these, something like this, or the butterfly. Butterfly I love. I've used it so much. So maybe we'll do the butterfly here really large, or we could do, I'm not sure what that is. It's just flowers. We could do just flowers there. We've got kind of, are those frogs? Is that what's supposed to be? Some sort of animal, right? Forest animal. The thing that holds me back with that is I don't like the color of the frame. So I'm going to go, though, with a butterfly. I do really love the butterfly. I've used it so much. I've used it in so many builds because I don't know. First of all, I love butterflies. That's the first thing I do. I love butterflies. And it just, I don't know. It looks so good and it's so colorful. I really Really adore these. These sort of pictures that were put into this pack, love them. Absolutely adore them. One of the best things in the pack, I think, and I love the fact that kids can make them, or Sims. You know, it's got a broad use in the game. We're going to look here and see if we can find. There they are. We're going to use this type of bookshelf, and we're going to overlap it just a little bit to give it a sort of a little bit more interesting type of feeling look. Now, I will have to come in later with Toolmod and adjust the size of the middle one so we won't get any graphical stutter. Let's see here. Although, really, it's not too bad. You can kind of see it right there. You know, that sort of stutter. With Toolmod, we can adjust this just barely and you will not see it. So we got a great look there for our library. I might go ahead and throw in a couple of like these. Yeah. Because I also really do like this particular item. The bookends on it are so cool. Which color? I've been using this color because I love blue. Blue's one of my favorite colors. I also love orange. Though orange is really probably my favorite color, really. But let's do that. Got an orange one there. And then we should be able to get a book, walk along this pathway, and get into our chair for our library. That should work. And when we come back and do lighting here at the end, we'll put some lighting through this. And I think that will do it. One thing I think we could do is maybe I could put like a skylight here above the chair. In fact, I'm going to do that now that I think of that. Take Enchanted by Nature qualifier off, and there we go. Because that would give us a lot of great natural light during the day if we're trying to read. Let's take a look at that. So pretty cool. So there's our kind of outdoor library and our formal living room to greet our guest. We need a kitchen. We need a dining room. The kitchen I want to put right here. This is one of the few areas of this build that looks like a room, right? It looks like an actual room. It looks like a building. So we're going to do a kitchen with cabinets on both sides. And here in the middle, I don't know. My thought at the time when I built it was maybe, and I guess I'll still do it, like a small table and chairs there, although our dining room is going to be out here. And I need to put some landscaping there. Okay, let's go through. Let's take a look at the kitchen. Now, of course, with this being a new pack, whoops, cancel. I kind of want to use the new cabinetry that comes with it, but at the same time, it is so rustic, and I feel like in a brutalist build like this, we're going to need something a little bit more modern. So, I am really, really, really torn. And I think I might go with this type of cabinetry from Snowy Escape. Or maybe even this from Design Home Decorator. This is going to be a tough decision. The Snowy Escape has a much more natural feel to it because the tone of the wood and, you know, the black part looks a lot like granite. So it feels like stone and wood together. And again, the tone of the wood feels very natural. So I think we are going to use that. We're going to go ahead and we'll put on this side, let's line it up here. We'll do a cabinet and then the stove and a cabinet. And over here, we're going to do a cabinet and a cabinet and the refrigerator, maybe? Actually, let's reverse it. Let's do a cabinet here and the stove. We'll put the refrigerator over here. We'll put two cabinets there. And then here on the end, we're going to grab a different version of this cabinet. We'll put this one here like that. So it's a little bit shorter. Doesn't look like it's going to fall off the edge of that. The bad thing about Snowy Escape is there's no upper cabinets for it, but I usually just use some shelving, you know. And we could bring the shelving we used in the bathroom over there, over here, or something else. Now, again, with the refrigerator and the stove, I'm a little torn because It's a Brutalist build, so my first inclination is to go towards modern. And this does work really well, right? I mean, it's got a very modern feel. We might want to change the tone of it just a little bit. So we got white, it's a little bright, but see I like that. This wood tone is not exact, doesn't match exactly, right, with Snowy Escape. But I do think it's close enough. And if is there a stove? Surely there is. I think there was a stove with that. There is. So the stove ought to come in something that kind of matches, hopefully. We're going to go in here. We're going to take, yeah, in fact, it matches really good. So again, it's a little off compared to the grain of the cabinetry, but I think it is going to work okay. I do think it's going to be okay. For the table here in the middle, my thought is maybe to use the sort of table that came with Enchanted by Nature, maybe. We really only have this option. And kind of like I said a minute ago, I love this table. I've used it in a lot of builds, but it feels very much a little bit like a kid's toy. It looks a little bit like a kid's toy. So I don't know that I want to use it here. Now we could go ahead and go with an island. So we could take an island like this and comes in round, comes in square, comes in round. Maybe the round version. It just starts to feel so tight. I mean, already I haven't even placed the thing and I'm already thinking it's going to feel kind of tight. So maybe the round version is going to be too tight. It's kind of big, right? I mean, that's almost like a dining room table. So, and we don't have to have a table in here. We're going to have a dining room right through those doors. It just feels like we should. And that's going to be even more kind of tight. I can push it together like that. That does work sometimes, although we will end up with a little bit of stutter. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not really seeing any. I think we might get a little bit of stutter that I'd have to deal with the tool mod, but that doesn't look too bad. Let me grab another couple of those. Let's put these over here. And we might even be able to just overlap it completely like that. So we've got a little square place here. Yes, in fact, we're going to do that. That looks great. I'm going to leave it like that. When we put an overhead light on it, if we're seeing too much stutter, I'll just go in with tool mod and I'll fix it. And do we want to scoot it over this way or leave it here? Of course, well, my first thought was I was just about to scoot it over, but in real life, wouldn't you rather have extra kind of workspace here for the stove? Does that make sense? And if you had the kids over here, you're mostly going to be at the stove. So I think I'm going to move this here, by the way. Move the stove there. I'm thinking about where to put the sink and a dishwasher. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. Like, how is this going to work? And it can work anywhere. Like I could put the sink here, right? And a Sim's not going to care. But realistically, and looking at it from a real world perspective, like how would it look in the real world? I do feel like I kind of need maybe the sink right here. But it's so weird that close to the stove. So maybe here? Yeah, let's go ahead and we'll put the sink in there. There's not a dishwasher, I don't think, that's really going to fit style-wise. Oh, maybe there is. Okay, wait. Oh, this is wonderful. So we did get a dishwasher with this. Okay, I did not remember that. I must have used it in some builds, but I did not remember that we got a dishwasher with this new pack, or the other new pack a while ago. The, Life and Death, that looks great. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go ahead and give them a dishwasher. We'll put that in there. We're going to grab a couple of bar stools. There are some bar stools with the new pack. Again, I'm kind of torn about using them. I think I'm going to go ahead and just use this look here. And we'll bring it around like that. I'm not going to put one on this side. I could put one here. But my fear is that it's going to interfere with that stove. So we're going to take it out. And that gives us a little place. Now, this guy doesn't have any kids. This is a 1-bedroom house. So hopefully he doesn't have any kids. The kids may really be living with nature if he does, sleeping right out here on the lawn. But I guess if you have friends over and you're cooking, it would work for that, right? Now let's grab something to use upper. Now we could go with, Life and Death here. That might help tie in some of the color of the refrigerator and stove. I'm not really seeing though an exact color that matches the refrigerator and stove. Let me go in here and take a look. Let's get closer and really kind of check this out, because none of these I think match. Oh, that kind of does. Oh, you know what? That kind of does. So maybe we go with that. Except I don't know. I'm really going to second guess it with the color there. And even the style. Let's just look here and see if we've got something like this maybe we could put in here. I love these. These are from, For Rent. The For Rent Sims Disaster Pack. Let's go ahead and let's put 2, maybe 2 in here. I'm going to change the tone of it to a little more like wood. There we go. And we'll just do the same thing on this other side. I'm going to just use the exact same cabinetry over here. I might throw some different clutter on some of the open parts of the shelf. And we'll put some lighting underneath it when we get into the lighting part. I really don't like the way it sticks past the end of that shelf, though. So I think I'm going to take it out. Let's just do it like this. There we go. Perfect. And that's pretty much our kitchen. I mean, it doesn't require much more. Well, it needs some clutter, a little bit of clutter. This is a modern build, so we don't want to have a bunch of junk out, right? It's a brutalist, minimalist type of style, but pretty good, pretty close. Let's go through here. I'm going to go ahead real quick and throw in some landscaping because that's so bugging me. Let's put a hedge in here. At least something, right? Put a little hedge in there. Actually, I might need 2 of those. Let's back it up. And we've got kind of a little planting area here, basically, as well. So maybe let's just grab a bush for now. Oh, shoot. Don't give me that. It doesn't want to stick to it because roofs, we can add kind of plants to roofs now, and it kind of works. So yeah, I didn't want to do that. I guess it works like that. That gives it kind of a different look, right? So at least it's a different look. We'll go with that. Now let's go through here. Let's find ourselves a dining room table. We had this. I was thinking of something larger, but it's kind of calling to me. I might go with this. I think, well, I don't know. I do like it. It's a little bit too colorful, the swatches I'm pulling here. Let me take a look. Let's see. And I'll tell you, I know for sure I'm going to use the new dining room chairs from Enchanted. So I don't want anything. I want something that's going to blend. Now those chairs have a really sort of natural feel, and I want to blend them with something that is very kind of modern, you know, kind of modern, kind of brutalist. Where are those chairs? Okay, I swear to God, I'm gonna just have to like do do this all the time. So let's pull these chairs out here. I'm gonna put them down. We need 6 of them. And I'm probably gonna change the coloring to a little more natural, like that. And then as far as the table goes, let's look through our tables. We could do we could definitely do this from like Snowy Escape and just do 2 of them. Or 3 or whatever it takes to make it look natural, right? We could like maybe throw a 3rd one on there. It's getting some stutter. We would have to work on it with tool mod, but that would be fine. Let's pull this out. Pull it over here. There is a table that I've already used here, a dining room table, and I used it to build a desk out of so that it looks like the desk was cantilevered out of, you know, from the wall, from this sort of slanted wall. So I do have this, right? And what I did with this was I blended it with this, which I was just thinking about for the dining room. And then with this, right? Like that, because I thought, well, that gives it kind of an interesting look at least, something a little bit different. So we could use either one of these or both. I don't know about both for dining. It did work here for the desk to have them intersected. I wonder if I brought one of them from down below, maybe? No. Okay, well, you know what? Let's take those over there and we'll see how it goes. Let's at least start with that. Let's put that over here. And we'll take that out. We'll head back over here. So that's one option. I don't even know that these need to be kind of pushed together. For some reason, I just really liked it over there. And there is a little bit of stutter I'd have to take care of with tool mod, but I think that would be okay. And the thing I like about it is it's got a little bit of a modern feel to it with that sort of, you know, gold band running through it. But it's also kind of rustic, almost like, again, like kind of an art piece. So, hum. And then we have this, and this matches the kitchen stuff, and I do like the tone of the wood, and I do like the black. Let's see here. Do we even have, though, an exact kind of match for that tone that we have in there? I don't think we do. Like, what color is this? It is kind of that warm peanut butter. Is this warm peanut butter? I don't know. I think so. Wouldn't you say that's warm peanut butter, maybe? Or is it this color? I'm going to take this in here and see if it matches. Because I want them to match, you know? I think that's the color right there. If we're going to use it, I do want it to match. So let's go ahead and we'll just... I'm going to use it. I am. I'm not going to replicate... I'm not going to replicate the desk area. I think it's better if the dining room and kitchen kind of match here anyway. Right, right. And if I want something a little more interesting, maybe we can look at using that tile, you know? We could also grab this and make it a table for 8. Maybe. Kind of we could, because I could just kind of eyeball it. Again, some pretty rough stutter there, but again, we can also fix that. So... And we've got so many swatches with this. I'm like, that's really pretty. That's kind of cute. I mean, it's kind of cute, right? It's kind of fun with those sort of chairs. For now, I'm going to leave it like that. And I'm going to leave it stretched out. I'm going to go ahead and put a chair on each side of it. Make it a table for 8. I don't know if I really need to have a rug under this. I guess not. I guess I really don't. I think I'm going to scoot. I think I'm going to reverse these. I'm going to put this here. And what I'm going to do is move this down so it does not impede the traffic flow coming up from the kitchen. Take a look at that. Very delicate. This is the equivalent of surgery right there. That's the equivalent of surgery in The Sims for lining those tables up. Great. I think that's good. Now let's, real quick, we need to do some landscaping, of course. Let's go through and take a look at our lighting situation. Now that we have lined out our key areas, there is some lighting around this lot. Let's go down here. You know, some very ambient sort of lighting, again, that I felt like was pretty, you know, pretty brutalist modern, the sort of shadowy sort of lighting. And I really want to leave it. Like, I really don't want to put in a whole bunch of lighting. I feel like maybe we could put a little something on the table, just a little something. So maybe a candle. Oh, you know what? Yeah. We could do like the new candles. Maybe we'll put a candle here and put one maybe here. So it's kind of a candlelit dinner, right? We'll put one here. So it's not bad. So we're not really losing that whole sort of dramatic effect, right? The sort of drama of this uplit, shadowy sort of brutalist looking style. But I do think there's enough, you know, kind of light there to see. I mean, I think so, right? Right. The Sims will be fine with it, I think. Now, here in the kitchen, I do want a little more task lighting. One thing we're going to do is we're going to do some under counter lighting that is going to be just exactly like this stuff here. So we'll grab that. There we go, like that. When it comes to brutalism, I mean, that's what I always think of is just very dramatic lighting. You know, like not just an overhead light that lights up the whole space bright as can be. It's always just kind of shadowy and tucked in a corner or maybe behind a plant. So it gives all these dramatic shadows and dramatic looks to everything. Now we do need something here. I do need some kind of spotlight type of lighting down on top of it. But what? That's the big question, is what exactly is going to fit that's modern and natural. I've used a ton of this stuff from Batu in these sort of fairy builds. I don't know about here. What did I use in the living room? Did I use anything in the living room? No. I left it very shadowy, like I was just talking about. Very shadowy and very dramatic. So I gotta do something. What, why? We've got this. This is certainly, you know, super, super modern. And it lights up everything. That's really not bad. I don't use that light very much, but I pretty much dig it there. I think that's cool. That looks good. Let's go with that. And it does give us enough light in the kitchen that it doesn't feel like our cook or ourselves cooking or something is going to be kind of in the dark. Out here, what I really want to do is I want to do some uplighting. We do want to do some dramatic, right? Dramatic uplighting of the exterior of this building. And where else could we kind of throw something in? I don't think that will light up. So we could do something here. We could do some sort of plants or something here and then light it up. But if I do that, I think I'll do something different light-wise. We could do this. Yeah, I think that that would give us that sort of look, that sort of feel of just intense drama, right? Just intense drama. Might turn it a little bit that way. Let's turn one this way. See if that gives us, it does give us quite a bit more than over here. So let's do the same. Lighting, I think, is like the key to everything. Lighting is the key to decor. I seriously believe that. You can change an entire space, an entire look of a space by changing the lighting. So that doesn't look too bad. I do like that. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go down here and we'll check out our formal seating area, which again, we want to keep, this is a true outdoor space. So it does really need to kind of reflect, I don't know, kind of the outdoors, right? Kind of the way the outdoors feels. So what to use? Let's look at our tourist areas here. We have, oh, you know, we could do this. Now this is, you know, got nature in it. It's not supernatural. It's kind of very metallic. But you know, I mean, I think that it is kind of, I'm kind of digging it. It's kind of fitting. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the lights on and look at it during the day. And let's see what kind of structure it kind of comes in for the day. I would prefer something kind of golden or bronzy. I mean, kind of like that. It's not too bad. The white really is not too bad either. I'm gonna go with that. It kind of ties into our table here, and it's got that greenery. And then later, if I change my mind, I'll go back and I'll, you know, switch it out. And I do think it kind of it really lights up that space right there just as much as it needs without, you know, kind of dominating the rest of the area too much. Now, our library back here, we're going to do some highlight lighting. We've got some highlight lighting on the front. We're going to do some here on the other side. And I might change those out, the lights right there. We'll see, but I might do it because I think, where is, might take this. We're going to do this on this side. See if I can get back here and see what I'm doing. Like that. And we're going to put the exact same thing, you know, here as well. I think. Maybe not, though. Maybe I will. What have I got here on the front? Kind of got it hidden on the front, so... Tough choice. I'm going to have to think about this. I do feel like I should have some overlighting, right? Like this. So it kind of lights it up so we can see what we're trying to get there to read. Color's going to be a big choice on that. For the moment, I think it's fine. We are going to go ahead and just go that route. And I could go ahead and put some lighting like this here above this, you know, picture. In the same way. Now I'm going to kind of center that picture under those light fixtures there. Now, we need lighting for the chair. It's going to be a little bit tough to do lighting for this chair because it's outdoors and it is kind of dark. I'm thinking maybe something like this. And what I want to do is put it on the shelf. I don't think it's going to work on this like that. I'm going to do like this maybe. That's fine though. I don't mind that. We can do something along those lines there. Which that does look pretty good. I do really like that. I think that gives us a good enough lighting area. Let's go back here. I think I've already put some lighting on this guy. I did. I might put, I don't know. Does he need any more? Probably not. We could light this sculpture up as well, though. On our way over to the bathroom and the bedroom. That looks pretty good. Let's see if we put another one right up front. Are we going to get enough of a kind of benefit to justify it sitting there? You can pull it back like that. Yeah, I think that gives us a nice pop of light. We'll come back here. We have our bathroom. Naturally, here in the toilet, I don't know. Nobody's really going to see it that much, but... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use the floor lighting. Let me go here. That I used in the dining room. Again, this is just something I think of when I think of kind of a brutalist modern architecture, like lighting down at the floor for some reason, you know, where you really can't, it's really not very effective. I mean, you're not going to trip over your feet, but you're not going to see a lot else, but that works. I like that. It's going to be pretty there. Now for the sink, kind of feel the same way. We could put in, if we can get this to remain still for us, we could do kind of some, you know, floor-based lighting like that. This is also supposed to be clear. Put a clear on there. And then we'll go through here and we'll grab the paint light, which I use all the time just as an under counter lighting or a bathroom light or anything you need, which is kind of, which is really why it's kind of unfortunate that it's still locked behind the painting career. Because honestly, I use this all the time. It is such an awesome all-purpose type of light. Where is it here? There we go. So we could move this up here and that would probably give us enough light. One other thing we could do though that would also be very modern, be very, very cool. We could do do the strip lights here. They may not work with the way I'm using that window, though, to be honest. Because we're not going to be able to see them. And I think the window does interfere with the light effect. Now, I guess if we brought it out here, maybe, I don't know how I feel about that. Let's try it here on the other side. Yeah, no, I'm not really digging it. So that's not really going to work. But this would be fine. Where is it here? I mean, is that enough light for real life? I really don't think it is. I don't think I would want to have, I think I'd want more light for real life, but you pull this out just a bit there. But for the Sims, I think it'll be fine. And I think it's going to, in fact, we'll put that there. That does give us a little more pop, right? Double up the lighting there. And it maintains our very modern sort of style, right? Our very modern aesthetic. Shoot, come on. Let's put that there. We might do that on both sides, kind of like the effect there. And I think I might do that here in the shower. How far up does that go? Pretty far. So if we're going to do that in the shower, let's just do these in the shower. That should be enough lighting there. And then over here with the closet, such as it is, we'll throw again just this sort of lighting like this up here. Gives us a nice ambient lighting feel. Now, we're back here to the bed, and I still don't know. I don't think I'm going to keep that bed. I've liked this furniture in the other parts of the house to some extent. I feel like the problem here is that this is so modern, and it's feeling like a suite, right? Like a suite of furniture and a bedroom suite, a hotel suite. And this is just sticking out too much. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that, which is too bad. I love that bed. I really, really do. But I just don't see anything that's going to save it for this look. So we will grab this instead. And I want to try to not, intersect the stone too much. Hopefully that'll leave enough room. I think it will, because I think a sim will just clip through the stone to get into bed, which that's fine with me. I'm not the sort of person that, like complains a whole lot about clipping. I'm like, I don't care if they clip. Just as long as they get where I wanted them to go, that's all I care about. So let's see here. Very delicate work. I think that'll do. Now, what kind of colors do we have on this? Let's turn on the sun. Let's get a real life look at this. Let's see here. That looks pretty good. I really like that. Let's go with that. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's not really the colors I would normally choose. It looks good, though. I typically would go with maybe that. We could do just white. Okay, let's go with that one. If I don't like it, I'll change it later. We'll go with that for now. And what we need to do is put some sort of lighting here by the bed. And I think I'm going to try this. I used this in a different build. In fact, recently. And I thought it looked pretty good. So let's see if I can find it, right? Here we go. This is it. And we just make it bigger, right? So we get a real sort of like lit headboard, you know, a sort of illuminated headboard look. Which again is going to fit very well with this sort of modern style, this sort of modern take on our fairy house. So we'll do that. We could even do, you know, more kind of copies of it to give an even greater effect if we wanted to, something like that. I don't think I'm going to. I don't think it's really necessary. We're going to take that out. I was tempted to use that. That looks, I mean, it's kind of cool. Okay, so it still feels a little dark back here. It does feel a little dark back here. But, oh, I do like it. I mean, it is your bedroom. It is nighttime. Let me think about. It's just really hard because this is an exterior, you know, space. It is not fully walled in. And the lighting sometimes is a little tricky to use and have it work, you know, effectively. But that's better. I do think that is better. That's giving us a lot more punch of light while still being pretty dramatic. I can either shrink those down even more to hide them, you know, or we can leave them there as kind of a architectural detail, I guess we'll call it. If I shrink them down, they effectively disappear, but we do keep the light for them, the light source. Yeah, I'm going to shrink them down and get them out of the way. I'm not super fond of the look with that bed. And we can still kind of see it over here. I could keep them out maybe a little bit, but just barely like this. That way, if someone doesn't like them, they can, you know, doesn't like the light, they could take it out more easily. Put that in there. We're not going to have any sort of end tables here. I guess you're going to have to just keep your cell phone in the bed with you. I could try to put some sort of shelf here. Maybe a shelving unit up above your head or even integrated here. Let's take a quick look. I hate to put nothing, you know, I really do. Because I think it just feels natural. You have something by your bed to put things on. I'm going to turn the sun on for this so I can get a real feel, you know, of the real tone of the stuff I'm wanting to use. We have that. Now that might be kind of cool. We could bring it up here. It's a pretty, I mean, it's a pretty low profile piece. It doesn't really impact much at all. So I don't know if it really feels realistic. Like, oh, hey, yeah, that's the sort of shelf someone would really have. One thing we could do to test it, we'll just look here for our phone and our keys. We'll grab it like that, right? Does it fit there? It does fit there, but it's kind of, you know, a little wonky looking, right? Man, it is a little odd looking there. And if I just make it double size, it actually looks way too big. Whoops. And to me, that looks like something you're going to hit your head on. So that is kind of not working. What about a cubby? I wonder if I went in and put a cubby in there, what would that look like? I mean, I don't think it's going to work because you wouldn't be able to see into the back of the cubby, like if it was truly built into the back of the bed. That's kind of like an old thing. I feel like I've seen quite a bit in old furniture and stuff is these sort of built-in units in the headboard of the bed where you could put stuff. But see, I mean, that's just it doesn't really work the same. But could it? I don't know. It really can't with this bed. It really can't with this bed. But we could get a different bed. And maybe then it would. Okay, so if I take this out and I look for something that is just a bed, right? Just a bed, just a mattress, nothing else. What are our options? We've got, this might work. It's kind of very low profile. I could pull it out, you know, out to right there. Whoops. That's a contender. We also have something like this, which would match the kitchen stuff. So at least the wood tone would kind of tie in. And it matches those boxes pretty well. Okay, let's keep that. That's a contender. And then we have maybe, well, not so much that. That's not going to work. We have this very, very, very low profile. I'm really leaning towards this. I'm going to try adding another, you know, box on here. I'm going to change the tone of it a little bit. I usually go with this color here. That's my favorite. That matches the tone of the box a little bit better. So does that. So maybe... kind of want this to hook onto the bottom. That's what I'm trying to get it to do. Let's see here. Does it not go on the bottom? It might not go on the bottom. So I need to maybe do it like that, and then it will. Shoot, that didn't connect. Okay. Oh, I think it almost did. There we go. They're connecting there. That works. Well, maybe they didn't. They didn't connect to the overall structure. Okay, so let's take a look at this and see here. Oh, shit. God damn it. Okay. Take that part off. I can't. Let's see. I don't want to delete the whole thing. There we go. This is usually the part of the build I like edit out where I'm just like tinkering around to see if, you know, I can kind of give something a little bit of a different look. And when I get done, do I even like it, you know? Because on one hand, I do like this. I think it kind of fits pretty well, but it also doesn't. You know, it's not really coming through with that feel that I ultimately want. It kind of does. I mean, it does kind of works. The part is like right here is where it doesn't work on the sides. Do, 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 do. And if I try to just box it in, which was what I was doing there, it also doesn't look right. So and this all started because I just wanted an end table. That's the other thing. I was just trying to figure out a way to put an end table in here. I mean, maybe like that. It's getting a lot closer. Again, I do feel like this sticks out a little bit too far, from the side, but it's not awful. And kind of the slats of the headboard give a little bit. I mean, I'm just reaching here. I'm just reaching. Give a little bit of a feel of maybe some doors, covering the space back behind or something. Like you would set your phone back here behind this part so it wouldn't slide out at night or something. I don't know. So that, I'm going to leave it like that for now. I'm going to leave it like that. And then, I don't know. Maybe I'm going to change it. Maybe I'm going to keep it. I really, really, really don't know. I can't think of anything better at the moment for this type of look. So yeah, I'm going to leave it. We could put a rug under there. Let's do something kind of modern. Do. I think I did use the sort of, Persian style rug in this particular build, so we could do something like that. Oh, how about this? What is this here? That looks very cool. How big does that get? It's a little bit too big, kind of extended like that. But again, I can come back with tool mod later and make it a little bit smaller. Well, let's see what kind of designs it comes with. Where did that come from? Was that some sort? I think it was a kit. Came with a kit, like maybe the vampire children kit or whatever, the vampire nursery kit, maybe is what it was. Yeah, see all the kid themes to it. Gee, I don't know. I could go with something like that or this. But I don't think it really fits. That's probably the closest would be that one. And it's fine. I think we will leave it like that for now. Got a pretty good look in the night. I mean, I'm probably going to change that out after I live with it a little bit. But for now, it's okay. Now, let's grab one of our two new landscaping type of things from the Enchanted by Nature pack. Let's throw a few of those around. In fact, I have an open area here that I was leaving specifically for the Enchanted by Nature stuff. That's about all we have. I know we have a few things I think in debug. I guess I could go in debug real quick and let's see what we've got. From Enchanted by Nature, there are some things in there. For some reason, I haven't been going in and using them much, so it must be something. Maybe they're all trees. And trees have a tendency, to disappear in a build, so I think we got stuff like that, but that's pretty common. I mean, we have those, kind of things in debug anyway. We do have mushrooms. Now, I didn't really, I don't think it really works with this pack. That might be convenient to have, though. Because it's not really a fantasy type of build per se. That's floating a little bit because the ground's uneven, but we're going to fix that coming up. Mm. Do, do, do. I mean, that's okay. It's not too bad. Is that about all we've got, maybe? Oh, this stuff? Yeah, okay. So something like that. We could use that there. I'm going to keep that. Move this out of the way. I'm going to grab this, make it a little bit smaller. That's a nice filler. That fits very nicely. We're going to put another one over here. In fact, we'll do 2 of those. No, that doesn't get any smaller, so I don't know. Oh, shoot. Wrong button. Hold on. Let's put that in there. Can I make that a little bit smaller? Not set on that. I think I'm going to take that out. See, I mean, that's going to disappear pretty easily. And I guess that's it. So that's it for that. Let's take that. I don't think I'm going to use that here. Just I'm not feeling it. I don't think I'm going to use this either. I'm going to grab some more of this stuff. So we'll grab this stuff here and we'll go ahead and shrink it down a little bit, just a little bit. It's really dark back in that part. Let's turn on the lights. Turn on the sun. Yeah, it looks better with the sun on. So that's a nice little landscaped area there. I think that works pretty well. I'm going to see if I can lay this particular area down a little bit. I can. So, I mean, just a little bit, but still, that's something. And I'm going to grab some more of this sort of unkempt shrubbery here. We're going to try to make it look like it's kind of growing along that hill a little bit. And then when we take these tiles out, it should rebound. There we go. Around the landscaping. So it looks like the landscaping is actually growing out of the ground. Okay, and then we'll put this over here. I've used this in a lot of fairy builds. It's just about the only really convenient thing we have for going up a wall. And it is really pretty. It has a nice look. I love the purple. So we're going to try to give it the feel here of just kind of curving around. Curve it around this sort of stone and maybe like that there. Growing up the side. Okay, so let's take a look here and see what do we have. Do we need anything there? Not really. It can be kind of open. I guess we could stick maybe, you know, a little bit of bush here to kind of tie that to the ground a little bit better. You know, that bougainvillea. Is there any place I can put this? I grabbed it because I thought it looked really cool. I do think it looks really cool. I guess we could put it in the dining room. In fact, we could put it maybe right here. We're going to go through what we got with Enchanted by Nature as household plants, decor plants. Because there are a few things here we might be able to kind of use. Maybe. I don't know. That didn't work very well, did it? That did not work to like, you know, size that up at all. So let's not do that. Let's go back here. What else have we have? This. None of those are going to work though to size up. So I guess we really just have this luck in a pot. And then we have these two. Oh, we have this. It's kind of cute, right? Let's go with this. I know it looks a little, you know, the poly count looks a little low on that one, but I think I'm still going to do it. We'll put maybe this here. It also looks a little low. A little bit low, but that's okay. Where's the one with the little smile on his face? No, you know what? I'm not going to do the smile because this is modern. So we're going to, it's really cute. Totally love it. We're going to just go with a nice wood container. Did that come with a gardening kit, that particular lamp? I think that it did. Well, it wasn't that, though. Blooming Rooms, was that it? Yeah. So I want to see what else Blooming Rooms here has that we might be able to use. And I'm not really liking any of it. Oh, well. I tried. I tried with that. Well, I do love these. I actually love these tables. I don't think I'm going to use it out here with this, but I do love those tables. Let's go ahead and we'll take the qualifier off and we'll just grab some stuff from the new pack again and throw in here just to kind of tie the different areas together. Okay, so we'll put a couple of these in here. I'm gonna make them a little bit bigger so we can actually see them. Because we got some big grass growing back there. And we'll grab this here. Again, we'll kind of size it up. Come on. There we go. And we'll put this maybe kind of like that. Well, yeah, I guess. I feel like that is a little bit too big. I might shrink that down and let's just see if we lift it up to make it seem like it's growing on a stalk, maybe. And you know what I should do is I probably should put some sort of lighting on this particular object here. I don't know if lighting will work on it because it came from the debug menu, but we're gonna check real quick and see if we can use some of this, spotlighting. I feel, debug menus, the reason why they're not in the main menu, of course, is for a reason. And that's because they usually don't work as well in, in everything like lighting and shadows and stuff like that as a fully developed item, but that is getting some effect. See, we can see it kind of changing a little bit, I think. Yeah, I can see a little bit of effect on it. So let's put that in like that. Plus, that'll look really pretty at night to have that, big, bright sort of landscape island there. Now, this guy over here doesn't have any sort of dirt around him, so I don't think we'll do anything over here. I don't know. I'm a little torn about that. We could do some cascading ivy or something. But I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to leave it just like that. Pretty just blatantly modern. I would love, I wish we had like a little bar cart. I'd like to put a little cart here maybe or something as a bar by the dining room. We have this. I use this all the time because it's kind of the one thing we have. But I really don't think it matches very well with the rest of the build. So I don't think I'm going to use that. I think we're going to just shy away from that a little bit. And even though I'd like to put something there, I really don't have anything to put there. So I think I'm just going to leave it empty. Let's try tucking a little bit of the new plants that we have from this new pack, Enchanted by Nature. Let's try tucking that in here at least a little bit. I'm going to try raising it up here some, maybe moving it back here. Bring it down a bit. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad there. I want something that looks like it's kind of growing out of whatever crack in the stone, you know, the rest of this is growing out of. And maybe we'll put another one over here. Bring a little bit of that new pack into this particular build. We'll put that maybe in there. I gotta be careful here as I don't want to interfere with routing for my sims. So I might have to, maybe we'll need to move that back just a little bit, or maybe turn it like this and bring it up. That's not too bad. I think that looks okay, kind of poking up there like it's, you know, part of the main plant. And I think it will not interfere with our routing, so our sims can, you know, get around our build. Do, 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 do. Okay, so that's going pretty well. I'm going to throw in another maybe piece back here. Just, again, help tie this into the new pack. And then I think here in the living room, I'm going to try to find something. And I kind of know what I want to use. I want to use some sort of, you know, planting here. Let's see. In a pot, plants in a pot. I'm not going to use the new plants you have to take care of because I think it'd be too hard to reach them back here and keep them alive, and then they would die. So, but maybe this back here. Yeah, I think that'll look nice. And then put that there. I think I'm going to try changing the, what different colors does that come in? I'm not super fond of the bottom there, but maybe in a different color. Oh, that's not too bad. I like that. And it makes the overall plant comes in a different tone too. I think this comes in different swatches. I'm sure it does. It must come in something different. Let's see what we have to work with. I'm gonna go with that. Go with that color there. Looking pretty good. And then back here by the bedroom, I've not used any potted plants. Back here by the bedroom or bathroom. So, oh, we could definitely put something right there. That would fit actually really well. Let's put one of these over here. And we'll put this over here too. Make it smaller. Like that. And that's about it. I mean, we can always throw in like, clutter, right? Clutter for the bathroom. I'm throwing, I think it'll fit. I'm gonna see if it'll fit. There's a tray I always use. It is my old standby. It is the, what's 11 years now for The Sims? It's the 11-year-old tray. Where is the tray? I always miss it. Ah, there it is, right there. The what do they even call that? Oh, the Tray Chic perfume set. So I use that a lot for bathrooms. It is very chic, and like I said, it is the old standby. It is the tradition. We could also put in some sort of little towel rack, but nothing too obtrusive. So my thought is to do this, but shrink it way, way down. We'll put it right there. And I don't want a lot here by this sink. I mean, I know that's a little bit unrealistic. In fact, I could put up a picture of my bathroom and show you that that is completely unrealistic because I have about, a ton of stuff. Ooh, almost lost something. I have a ton of stuff, just all over everything. Talk with my hands too much. So yeah, I know that's unrealistic, but oh well. We've got toilet paper in here. Do we need anything else? Not really. Let's put in this flooring though. And I could put some art on the wall, but I don't think so. You're not in the bathroom for a museum. You're not there to see art. You're there to get your business done and get out of there. So we've got this and this. Probably everything's good here. Let's clutter up the kitchen a little bit. I don't want to get too crazy with clutter. We'll put a few things in here. And this build is pretty much going to just be done. Let's see here. I'll do some play testing. I'll make sure old Constantino, waiting in the wings, he's one of my fairies from Enchanted by Nature. Make sure that he is able to make his way around this home. He's been in a couple of homes. This is the other thing I use pretty much like in every single build. Because it fits on every shelf, right? It fits on every shelf. And, it looks cute. I love it. It's like, one of your friends made you some like canned stuff. And since someone made it for you, you never want to open it or use it because, they put so much hard work into it. So it just sits there until like, 15 years later. And you're like, oh my God, that's dangerous to eat now. So I better throw it out. So it's one of those things. What else could I put in here on the shelf? There should be a few things here that do fit on the shelf. I know there are. In fact, let's just kind of scroll through here. This stuff, those are marbles though, but I think they'll fit. Did the mug trio fit? Oh, the mug trio fits. Okay, let's put that up there. Super cute. And then does this fit? It does not. It does not fit, so we won't use that. I think some of these boxes fit. Not that one. This thing, this fits. Yeah. Kitchen storage jar. Because I've used those a couple of times now, so... And again, I really like these. These are just like these. You know, what is that in there? Like zucchini or something? And then you've got carrots over there. I think that, oh, it disappeared. That's probably their optimization. Makes everything disappear when you get close. But that looks really, really good. Is that, maybe it's garlic. Maybe it's garlic. Does it say what it is? I don't think so. It's just kitchen storage jar. Looks cool though. I really, really like those. Someone throw those up there. We're going to put maybe something on the walls here in the kitchen. But not much. Not a whole lot. We'll put this here in gray, right? So it doesn't get in the way too much. And we'll throw in some knives here by the stove. I would like to use this, but I don't think so. I think even in gray, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to keep it a little bit more scaled back. So we got those things there. And then on this side, we'll throw, again, just some general stuff. Is there anything else I didn't use that will fit? I think so. Well, I know these fit. They're not really for the kitchen, but they fit. How about, what is this? A trinket. A little trinket. Not for this build, but I gotta remember that. Looks like a cup. No. Not that. Will that fit? Where's the plates? Packs of plates now. Yeah. I don't want to forget those. Let's just grab some plates. Right there. Is it those or is it these? Is it both? I think it's both. Let's go with these. And I'm going to put like a couple of groups of them here. Like, I love the way they stack. It is so great. I don't think it always works. I think sometimes they disappear. But, you know, as a concept, I love it. There we go. We got a couple of different plates up there. We could do these as well from Horse Ranch. We're going to do a tall stack of those and make each one a different color. Red, yellow, and blue. Let's give it a little bit of color in the kitchen. Will that fit up there? It won't. Okay. Oh, that's a debug item. We won't use that. And then we've got these. We could put this up here just to put something on the cabinet. Just a little something small. I don't want too much on there. And this will all hold stuff as well. But again, I don't know. I think I'm going to hold off on that. I really don't think I want to put too much stuff under there. Let's put a little picture. I'll put a little picture in here. Plus the wood kind of matches. The frame matches pretty well. So we'll stick a little picture there. Not too crazy. Not too out of control. I think it looks pretty good. I really want to put something here in the middle of where these tables intersect. I need something that won't fit on top of the table, that I can shrink down and then lift up and put into place. What do we have? And I want it to be something that's going to look good. It's going to look like it belongs there, like it's a home, a household type of decorative item. I wonder, do we have? Yes, we do. Now, will this, it does fit on a table. It kind of fits in the middle though anyway. Actually, that's not too bad. And that's pretty much exactly what I was looking for. I did want it centered exactly in the center of all these tables. And that may not happen, but maybe we put it, where was it? Like right here. So if it has to be off center, it would be, well, oh man, let's do it like that. Let's put it right there. I'm going to try to not move it. I think I just did. I'm going to have that facing that way. Yeah, so I really like that. That's going to be cool. And then we're going to stick some bamboo in it here on the table. I think. That's my thought right now. Let's grab the bamboo and let's see how this works. It works on the floor. I don't know if I'm going to like the way it looks on the tabletop. I think that's fine. I like that. That's going to look good. Yeah, is it lined up properly? Not exactly. We're going to have to line it up a little bit better. Pull that in there. And I'm going to change the color of its base to red, because then you can see a little bit of white, a little white speck there where it's kind of bled over. That's okay. We'll change it to red. You won't see it any longer. And then we got kind of a look, right? We got kind of a look there, and I think that does kind of look pretty cool. And that really does it for this build. If you're watching right now, or if you're watching in the future, please hit like, subscribe, and notify. I was going to run Constantino through a few paces. Actually, now that I think about it, like, and see, can he get a book? Read Crisis Barn, our favorite book. Come on, Constantino. There he goes. We can't really see his wings at the moment. It's kind of a little hidden there for some reason. Why is that? I don't know why that is. There we go. We can see him there. I wanted to see if you can sit here, Constantino. Come over here. Where is he? Oh, he still wants to sit there on that bench. I guess it's okay. Some people sit on a coffee table sometimes. Here he goes. He's going to sit down, have a seat, read his book. Okay, awesome. Works fine. Let's check out the bathroom real quick. Can he take a shower? Let's take a steamy shower. Constantino is kind of a romantic guy. I don't know. Why is he doing that? Why does his wings keep kind of folding away? That's kind of weird. I haven't seen that yet so far. I've been playing with Enchanted by Nature now since it came out, of course. And this is the first time I'm really seeing this particular thing. Now, there have been times when they're supposed to have their wings out, and for whatever reason, they don't. I think I'm going to tinker with this a little bit to, hey, kind of went here and here and here. I'm going to tinker with that a little bit and see if we can fix that up a bit. Okay, so he's going to take himself a nice hot shower. That's good to go. We're going to, oh, you know what? I better make sure the sink works. Because I think it won't. I think I'm going to have to fix that real quick. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to pull it out a little bit. I mean, we can have it right about here, and I think it should work. If not, we'll scoot it a little bit more. That's enough of a shower. You're going to wash your hands, buddy. There you go. Perfect. Now, can he get into bed on this side? Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. Yeah, he did clip through the stone a little bit, which I really felt he would do. But again, in real life, we would just squeeze through here, you know. So for him to clip, that's fine. Does not bother me. This should all work like just great, but I'm going to check it out a little bit, see what's up with it. I'm going to fix his wings. There's something wrong here. Conceal fairy form. Now, this is how I usually fix it when his wings aren't there. Like if you travel, a lot of times the wings disappear, even though they shouldn't. So maybe that'll fix it. Let's have him try to make something. Bake some sugar cookies. Baking sugar cookies is a great way to test a kitchen because they have to go to the refrigerator and the stove, and they have to, use a countertop on top of that. So it is a great way to make sure that everything is in place for them to cook, right? For them to make stuff. Constantino there is an excellent cook, as you can see. Don't be shy, Constantino. You're doing a great job. Let's speed you up a little bit. Don't worry about them eggshells. That's just calcium. That's more calcium. Chickens eat eggshells all the time. There he goes. He's happy with that. Had a big, bright smile on his face. Okay, let's grab some cookies, grab a serving, and then sit over here and see if he will sit and eat. Oh my gosh, he put his wings away again when he's flying. That's weird. That's really, really weird. He's not supposed to do that. And he hasn't been doing that. I don't think we've had an update, right? I don't think we've had any update that would change that. So I really don't know why. Well, you can't get to the dishwasher and you can't get to the sink. Is that what you're telling me, Constantino? Because it should be fine. The dishwasher should be on there without any trouble. I wonder, and especially since he could use the stove, maybe he wants a garbage can. I just noticed we don't have a garbage can. So maybe he wants a garbage can specifically to clean up with. Let me grab one. I was going to put one in anyway, so let's go ahead and grab one here. But that's worrisome that he did that because he should have probably used the sink. He's still, maybe he can't grab it because of the table. Okay, so he'll sit there and eat, but he can't grab the plate because I intersected all those tables together. I really don't care. I think I'm going to leave it even still. I might play around with it with Tool Mod and see what I can come up with, but I just like the look too much to change it, right? So, I don't anticipate getting rid of that. I suppose I could bring in like one of these tables and use it in here, but I don't know. I just like that too much. I'm going to put this over here on the counter. Okay, Constantino, come on over here and get this cleaned up. Whoops, wrong thing. Live mode. Clean it up. There you go. Now it's working. He's not going to use his dishwasher for some reason. He's going to use the sink, which is kind of weird. That's okay. Let's clean this up too. We try to leave our builds in a clean condition. I know people, it drives them crazy when you leave a bunch of food lying around from your playtest, right? Oh, there goes his wings. Now they're working. Okay, awesome. And he's still going to use the sink again. That's weird. No dishes to clean. Shrink and play. Let us shrink and play in the dishwasher. I didn't know we could shrink and play in the dishwasher. Can we? Let's see if the dishwasher works. There he go. Okay, so he just goes into the dishwasher. Right, I guess. Jumps. It's like an auto wash. Got an auto shower in the dishwasher. I knew he could do it in the sink. I did not know that he could do it in the dishwasher like that. It's a pretty simple animation. I mean, it's a pretty simple kind of little trick there, but it is kind of cute. I will say that. And I love the way they shrink down, you know, to jump into stuff. That's very, very cool. And I love this. I don't even need to put a shower in here since he's a fairy, but since there are other people maybe living here, I did. I don't know if that counts as a shower either. Let me see here. Whoops. Well, his hygiene's already maxed anyway, but I don't know that actually counts as it counts as fun. He's having fun. Who's that? Mysterious Merchant. Well, we don't have time today, Mr. Mysterious Merchant. I know that we are in the life and death, you know, area. I'm gonna have him stop. Get out of the water. Come on, Constantino. Let's see if he can sit here in this chair, which will probably be the hardest. Well, the second hardest one for him to reach. Can he sit in this chair? Yeah, okay. So it looks like with this build, with the playtest here, we are golden. So I'm probably going to film like a brief tour of it and upload it to the gallery within a few days. I might go ahead and upload it to the gallery now. I guess I could. I don't know. I need to make sure. Like I said, I want to deal with a few little rowdy type of things over here, routing, right? So I might add some stair steps in there. And the same thing is true here, but not too much. We'll see. I don't think very much more is going to change. And now this time, for certain, I know what's going to change. I'm going to put a little bit of landscaping right there. For now, for certain. Thanks for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, and notify. And again, as always, thanks for watching.